Okay, so, well, the internet at my apartment has kind of gone all out of whack, so I can't really do any of my homework right now. So might as well get some audio done for this video. Yeah, so a lot has been going on the last couple of weeks. Final season is in full swing here at my university, so that's been fun. And recently, I've finished going through the screening process to kind of, I guess, narrow down the possibility of me being on the spectrum. And the conclusion that we've come to is that, yes, there's a very good possibility that I'm on the spectrum. So, yeah, that's been exciting because that just answers so many questions, explains so many things from my life. So, I am really kind of, I don't know, it's a huge weight off my shoulders. And that will, I guess, kind of tie in because, like I said in one of my last couple episodes, that I really connect to Entrapta. And yeah, so again, we'll relate to the video. So the couple episodes that I'm going through today are The Princess Ball and No Princess Left Behind. These episodes were actually fairly good. Like this first season, I mean, there's a few things here and there that is just like, why? And some of my criticisms are because I know I've seen the whole show already. So I know how some of these character arcs go. And I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I don't know. This show has lots of potential. This first season was actually pretty good, except for a couple of minor things so far. And yeah, so let's get right into it. It's been it's been like over a week since I've seen it, so I'm just gonna go through my notes and kind of talk about them, and we'll go through that. So the first note that I have written down was about Adora's nervousness about the ball. And I said that was rather done really well. I really, really like it when they actually kind of go into some of like the mental and emotional kind of challenges that these characters go through. Like I mentioned previously, like Adora's kind of, can I really do this kind of deal that she went through in Flowers for She-Ra. And I really, really like that because media is something through which a lot of people learn how to deal with problems. And so having characters go through these emotional and mental trials, if done well and handled appropriately, can be really good tools in helping people and children learn how to overcome these kinds of trials. So I always like it when characters struggle in that way. I mean, I don't like to see them struggle, but like as a creator, it's just like, yes, do that. I don't know. Anyway, let's just move on from there. One of the questions I had, and I have this question in a lot of different fandoms. Like this is not just for She-Ra. It's how does mail work in wars? Like even in real life, I'm just like, how does this work? Because like Scorpia got this invitation to go to the thing, and it's like, how did that invitation get into the Fright Zone? And like, I don't know. I guess, yeah. Let's just say I would not want to be a mail carrier in the middle of the war. Nope. No, thank you. So that was really confusing for me, and since it confuses me in real life, I'm gonna go ahead and let that pass. But at the same time, I would really love it if some shows would actually like give a slight glimpse into how this works, because my brain is just going, how? I don't understand. And on the topic of logistics, how big is this planet? Because like Adora, Glimmer and Bow are talking like And they mention that the Princess Ball is that night. And they don't take very long getting there. And they talk about like Bright Moon being the biggest kingdom and the Kingdom of Snows being the next biggest, or maybe theirs are switched. And I just... travel times don't make sense on this planet. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So the next note that, oh, I have how big is this planet a couple of times in my notes. Yikes. So yeah, that was something that kind of bothered me. My next note was about Entrapta, because Entrapta is best girl. Like, this was actually the episode. So, like, the first episode was like, oh, cool, princess that likes robots. Like, oh, and she's very particular about, you know, wanting little food and stuff like that. And then during this episode, that was the one where it, like, really clicked. That, like, oh, did they make Entrapta on the spectrum? Like, so that was really cool. And I was just like, full send. She became my favorite character right away. Like I already liked her in the first episode, but like this was the one that like locked her in as my favorite character. Just like the way that she like looked at the Princess Ball, I was just like, this is a social experiment I'm gonna watch. And just like, because I don't know, people watching is something that I do a lot. And just like, how does that interaction work? Ooh, look, there's people over there doing things I want to watch and stuff like that. So, and then just how like everything is a science experiment to Trapta. It's just like, I don't know, I feel like Entrapta is the animated version of me, basically. A little bit more extreme, but still, like, you get the idea. Another comment about the planets and logistics and things not making sense. Oh my goodness, Adora's attempt at curtsying was spot on. That was really good. Also, I really, really liked Adora's ball gown design. It was really good. I have oofed written on here. I'm not exactly sure what that one was in reference to. But my next comment was about Glimmer being kind of possessive. I think we've already made it clear that I'm not a Glimmer fan. However, like, kind of taking a step back, like, it kind of does make sense. I mean, she is a child, and it's a childish thing to do. I feel like the show tries to put too many personality traits into her that, like, conflict. Because, like, on the one hand, she is a child. She's acting childish, and, you know, she's a child. But on the other hand, she's, I don't know, sometimes acts, she actually hardly ever acts mature, but she's in positions of power where she should be a mature adult in order to be in those positions. And so it's just like very, very confusing. Contrast that with Frosta, who is thrust into this position of leading because I guess her parents died or something. We don't really get a whole... I mean, the only other princess who ever mentions having a parental figure is Mermista, and we still don't know what happened to her dad. Like, she mentions he left her the kingdom in shambles, and so I'm assuming he died? I don't know. The politics and the logistics and basically all of the story building in this show just makes my head hurt. But some of the characterizations and stuff are okay. Also, how many kingdoms are on this planet? How many princesses are there? What even is this planet? I don't understand. Oh, man. And that was the last note that I wrote for that. I think I'm trying to figure out why I didn't write anything during the whole battle thing. I don't know. Catra versus Adora, all of those scenes are done really well. Adora is very not strategic in this episode, however. Like, she's very, very hot-headed. I don't know, like, honestly, Catra is making a better candidate for Force Captain than Adora. Like, while Adora was in the Horde, she was like, yeah, I can see her being a Force Captain. But the more she's with the Rebellion, the more it's just like, how many brain cells do you have? I don't know. There's so much back and forth with character development and things like that, and whatnot. The rest of the conflict though was pretty good. I just wish the character development was like, I'm okay with hills and valleys and character development because that's how people grow. Like, it's not a continual straight line up. There's some mistakes along the way, but the way it's presented in this show, it just feels more like a child that drew on a wall as opposed to a stock market graph. I'm gonna try and find some pictures for the that I can put on the thing because words are not my forte. I like reading them, I like analyzing them, but when I try and say them, it just does not end well. Hey, it's Mal from the future. So here's a graph that I drew to kind of explain what I'm talking about a little bit. So the straight lines are kind of like the general direction that characters generally go, green being good characters, red being, like your typical fallen hero types, purple obviously having zero progression. And in my mind, the little curvy magenta one is one that I kind of see the She-Ra characters going through, at least, like, mentally. Because, like, they're fairly... At least Adora is, like, fairly smart and capable at the beginning, and then she just kind of, like, throws whatever at the enemy and hopes it sticks instead of, being the tactical leader that she was made out to be in the beginning of the show. And then the blue is just kind of like, it's like the green is the typical like direction that characters generally go through, and then the blue being the actual, like, sometimes they make good decisions, sometimes they make bad decisions, but in general their trend is typically up. So yeah. So all of that brings us to No Princess Left Behind. The first thing I have here is the mom versus leader conflict. Oh, I loved that. Oh my goodness. I feel like whoever writes for Angela is really awesome. Because I feel like they really captured the struggle of having two conflicting loyalties. Because on the one hand, she has a loyalty to her daughter to protect her daughter at all costs. And on the other hand, she's the leader of the free world, and sacrificing herself pretty much sacrifices that free world that she is a leader of. And so I feel like they did a really, really good job there. Oh man, Entrapta. I love Entrapta. Yeah, that whole scene where Adora is, being all strategic again, like, oh, where were those brain cells when you were fighting Catra? Yeah. Anyway, while she was being strategic, and she's like, oh, Entrapta, you'll be the perfume, and Perfuma, you'll be the whatever. Oh, the nail polish. I love Entrapta. Wait, shouldn't Perfuma be the perfume? That makes more sense. I love Entrapta. Entrapta can do no wrong, except when she does. Yeah, okay. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. Oh man. Mermista feels really realistic in this episode. They did a good job with Mermista. Mermista and Entrapta are my two favorite characters, hands down. Also, here's carryover from my question previously. Aren't half the other princesses technically queens? Like, how do the politics work here? Is there only one queen on the entire planet and all of the kingdoms, like, states of Bright Moon? But if that was the case, then why do they need to form alliances? How do things work? Anyway. Oh yeah, I wrote down that Scorpio actually has 3/4 of a brain cell. Woo! As opposed to half a brain cell, which, most of the other people on this planet have. But only 3/4 because she still falls for it. But I don't know. I feel like they did Scorpio really well. They did her really well here. Ooh, yes, later, Lonnie versus Adora. They did that really well. The betrayal, you could feel the betrayal that Lonnie felt, or at least you could see it on her face and things like that. And that was really, really cool. And then with Kyle, I feel like Kyle should have been able to defect in this episode. They did Kyle dirty. Oh man, the animation on Glimmer's telepunch, that's what I'm gonna call it, when she like teleported and like Glimmer blasted Shadow Weaver in the face. That was awesome. I loved it. And then Catra's whole giving Adora back the sword thing at the end really confused me. I mean, like, I don't know. I usually, when I watch shows or read books, I just kind of take things as they come. I usually try not to think about it too hard, unless it's like really confusing. So I think the first time that I watched this, it just kind of like, I just kind of took it as it came. I don't remember being super confused about it. But yeah, if I was thinking about it, I guess I would have just assumed that, because Shadow Weaver was like, oh, Catra's going to be Force Captain again. I mean, not Catra. Adora will be Force Captain once I'm done with her. And so, like, Catra wants to be Force Captain, so obviously she would help Adora get away so that she can still be Force Captain. I don't know. It's just, that whole thing was really complicated. It seemed like, I don't know, but maybe that's just my brain. So I don't know. I feel like there were a lot of really good parts in these 2 episodes. A lot of world building issues that I had, or rather lack of world building, or at least world explaining. And things like that. Like, I don't know how time works, or how logistics works, or how the political thing works. All of that's really confusing. It's just like, hand wave war! And it's like, okay. That's cool. That's cool. So, yeah, but I mean, it's alright. This first season has been okay. And I think there's 4 episodes left. So we'll go ahead and finish with that, and then I will move on to do something else, and then I'll eventually come back to this, but I think I'll wait for the demand to get a little higher. So yeah, I will see you all in my next episode. Cannot promise on the timing though, I'm sorry. If you liked this, go ahead and leave a like. If you would like to have any say in my next, I guess, kind of series or kind of videos that I make, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And subscribe if you haven't. Still figuring out my channel, I guess, but I am enjoying it. And I will see you later. Bye.